I did everything. And now I wait. And now we're live. Hello. Hi. Sorry, I have to test things. I did everything. Okay, good. Yeah, you can hear me, I think. Okay. Hello. It is Saturday. It's the 4th of May. It is 4:15 p.m. and I am still working on Kine. Let's see. At this point, we're 4 weeks to content lock. I just want to make it clear, content lock is bullshit, but content lock is coming. It is in 4 weeks. In theory, I'm supposed to be done with content, all content for the game in 4 weeks. I'm evolving my opinion on that, but in any case, let's go over what happened this week. The first big thing I worked on was the heart, but it's going to be kind of hard to show you that because you see all this blue stuff in the way. And that's the second big thing I did. I started this yesterday and I continued it this morning. So this is actually just something I've been doing for the last 2 days. I guess I should back up a bit. So I'll talk about a bit about what's going on here. But first we should go a little bit more chronologically. One of the things aside from the random bug fixing and the usual stuff I worked on, was the heartbreak stage. Getting this to all work. And I didn't really know what I wanted for this, and I needed to come up with something before I handed this off to the artists. I'm not really done with it yet, but I knew I wanted, and obviously you don't see this so much when you play, but I wanted something. I knew I wanted it to fold up and down. I knew, like, when the stage is unlocked, I kind of wanted some kind of visual representation in the world, which I have now. I'm cheating to get there, but I haven't done it yet, but there should be a cutscene when you've won a certain amount of the romance levels. It unlocks, like, the romance stage, which should theoretically have more stuff on it, but apparently the only thing you can do here is break up. Okay. So anyway, yeah, this was one of the things I worked on. Figuring out how this stage is going to work, doing a polish pass on setting up all the start scenes for this area, doing just a polish pass on the camera work, how close you are, the opening scenes, that sort of thing. And in general, coming up with the idea for, like, how it's going to unfold as you go through this area. It's rough, but it's in. And this is all just being done with the blend shape and stuff. So, yeah, it basically, as you play through it, I need to make it faster on the level select screen, but it unfolds down to here. And then I haven't done the cutscene yet for when you, after you break up. I've done the logic for it, but I probably need, like, the heart to shatter or something, and then that's gone. And then you're just locked out of this area. That was a couple of days this week. What else? There's the usual, like, supporting the artists. What else? There's, oh yeah, I mean, obviously, a big thing that happened this week, no. Spam. A big thing that happened this week was I just so happened to get 3 different people playtesting the game that are, like, designer friends. So I got a lot of feedback. And one of the best pieces of feedback I got was also something I've kind of known for a long time. Do you remember I used to have, like, the ribbons going through the world? And, like, before I didn't have this UI, I just had, like, UI that you would select. And you'd try to click here, and I just couldn't get it to work, and I cut the whole thing. But when I cut it, what I was left with was, like, a very boring map. If you remember last week, all that would happen is, like, as you mouse over a level, it shows the level. And you didn't feel any progression, and it didn't feel like you were unlocking things, and that kind of feels bad. And so one of the things I went in to do was I resurrected that. I've brought back the idea that you can see the ribbon as you go through the world. When you mouse over a section, if you haven't done any of them yet, like this one, you see in blue the section that you're doing, and you also see this kind of bouncing line. And as you complete a section, it turns into these splats. This is... I put together the logic for this yesterday, and I was figuring out the look of it this morning. And that's why, like, I've still got all this stuff up and shit. And I've just basically spec'd out the first couple. And I think today I'm going to keep going. Like, I don't have any of these set up yet. I started with these. I don't have these set up yet. So that's what I'm going to do now, is get all of this back and working. I know there was other stuff. Oh, let me talk about the team. So Rick is still busy this week, but I still do have two other artists I'm working with. What did they do? One of them, I've been working with him, but this is pretty much his stuff. Oh, yeah. One of them, you'll see that this texture is totally new. I think it's good. And we're trying to think of what these levels look like. Initially, I had them doing origami. They started looking at what if it's paper, and that's the experiment now. Like, what if it's paper? I could show you the back and forth we did. I think, yeah, basically we've done quite a bit of back and forth to try to get this to a certain place, especially because like we completely lost the grid for a while, which is why I had them bring back the music staff on here. I think that could actually be darker. We still have a lot more to go here. I added sparkles to things. I bought sparkles. I wanted to unify all of the wind conditions with some sort of effect. There's been a lot of little things I've been doing like that too. That's hard to quantify, like just tons of little things. Yeah. Hey Marcos, hey Popcans, hey Mega, hey Twerps. Thought I was talking to myself for a while there. I feel like there's so much more than that. Oh, I guess this week was also bogged down with just a lot of crap. I had to spend like half a day getting a video together for Indie Mega Booth and other business stuff. There was business stuff this week that sucked. But I've submitted to the Indie Mega Booth, which I shouldn't admit because I might not get in. I've not gotten into other things, so. But I feel like the games that plays now looks pretty damn good. I think I could get into the Indie Mega Booth. I'm hopeful. See how it goes. I hope so. Thanks, Popcans. I'm glad you're confident. I didn't get into, which one? Day of the Devs. There's been a couple. Epic can... I don't think Epic has that kind of clout. I don't know why I'm wearing these. I don't think Epic can just be, call Kelly Wallach and be like, yo, get our homegirl in. I need these. I don't think that's how things work. What else is there? Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff like that. Pretty tired. It's been a pretty tiring week. It's pretty stressful. I got a lot of feedback. I spent a certain amount of time just freaking out. Mentally, I was aiming for a certain date, and I was aiming to be on all platforms at the same time. And I think one of those two things has to give, most likely. I mean, no matter what, contractually I have to come out this year, but I could be, and I don't want to be late in the year. You don't want to get, I'm terrified of coming out like at the same time as all of the AAA titles. So, but I can't push to, the classic thing to do is to push to February. And I just kind of don't want to do that. So I'm feeling it right now. But, you know what we're going to do is we're going to finish up this fucking map, guys. Because this looks pretty cool. The new hotness. I like it, but I just did it this morning, so by tomorrow I'll hate it. And yet, progress must go on, so let's keep going with it. I did this one. I need to do this one. I started this one. Level logic. Maybe Level list. It's trombone up to 1. Oh, that's the spline. I don't know. I think it needs a black outline. Do you think on both of them or just in the ball? Maybe just in the ball. Yeah, let's make this. This is Fortnite, Port Ponky. Haven't you heard? What did I just export that as? Sphere. Desktop. Yeah, all the scripting is blueprints. I forgot to put programming in the tags. It's kind of cheeky. I decided to stop doing that. Keeps removing all of my tags. I don't know what to do to make it save. Like, Twitch, for some reason, I feel like it memorizes that my tags are IRL and creative, but it deletes all the other ones. I don't know if that matters. I don't know if I'm a typical Twitch user. I want this to be off by a bit. Blueprint's kind of blue. Look, when it's going well, it's blue. Exporting, what are you doing? See, that's blue. It's got a blue hue, a lot of blue lines. Oh, it's a blue up in there. It's got other colors too. It's a multicolored print. Primarily, basically blue. Unless you're working with a lot of bools, then I guess it's mostly red. what I wanted to, all right. That's gonna drive me crazy. Why am I doing this? I thought it'd be fun to like mess with it a little. Let's make it then. Is this a good idea? Mesh display. I think that's cool, or does that? Does that look intentional? Super safe far away. That's fine. File. Hey Adwell, what's up, man? I'm glad. It messes with your OCD. Well, it's got to look hand-drawn, right? Actually, I put a lot of effort into this. I'm kind of like, I think I pulled this off. Like, this line looks like the correct art style, right? Like, it looks drawn. Right? Check that shit out. I shouldn't, like, feel proud of shit, but kinda. What else is cool is, like, because it's 3D, there's times when, like, say you're in the level and you pop out and you can see it very briefly. Maybe not there. But, like, what if you're here? Maybe this one will work. Then as you pop out, you can see it. It goes into place, right? Kind of cool. Sorry, I think it's cool. You know what? Shut up. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna re-import that ball. Sorry, I'm being stupid. I'm having one of those days. Alright, That's cool, Adwa. It's actually, it's hard to pick up, and it's not really, the point is you see it when you're moving back out to the menu screen. So like, it's when, maybe I should have it not hide until you get closer, but I feel like it's not pretty. You're not supposed to see this up front, or up close, right? It's just, if you're somewhere, because the UI is loading, it happens to pop in, right? So even though the camera's zooming out, you see it, which kind of gives away that it's 3D. It had to be 3D too. I tried to put, before the logic I had that I was using back in the day for this initially, I was just getting the world, like, I was projecting the world location to screen space, and I was using that to put an image, and I started out doing that, but I was just getting this dithering that I couldn't fix. And in the end, I just figured, fuck it, let's just make all of it 3D. So this is a 3D line in the world. And the ball is a 3D ball in the world. It was like the only way I could think to do it. So we're just gonna say it's a feature. I'm gonna go with it. And I'm gonna put materials on this new. What do we got going on here? Okay, so we have one material that's not actually there. Cool. Well, this is incorrect. Oh, fuck, it's happening again. My monitor's turning off randomly, and I don't know if I think the wire's loose. Oh, I'm sorry, Adwa. Well, we're not getting two tones here. The hell? Oh, why did you do that? Environment. Oh, you're an idiot. Ball shape. Right. So in order to make sure this draws through the world, most of the work's actually being done in the post-proc, which means the black is just going to turn yellow because it's the same. Okay. We make it 2 meshes. File. You will be my ball shape, sure. You will be UI ball shape outline. Guess I don't need that. Color. Maybe either we don't have you in the depth buffer at all. Might be the best way to do it. Because this is such a small thing. I feel like I don't see it. Yeah, because it's not there. Oh, because it's never being unhidden. Okay, so like by default these are hidden. When I hide and unhide the different elements, I just want to make sure it propagates to the children. Is it happening? Yeah, okay, it's there. Too tiny to matter. I feel like there's a couple things here. I want the yellow to always draw over the blue. I should be able to do that. Slurp between just the yellow and the addition based on this depth buffer stencil. That'll make it so that if there's a pixel with both the the line and the ball, it'll choose the gold color rather than the blue color. Which will, oh, also that'll break everything. It's the other thing that'll do. We'll do those two things. Right, okay, hold on. Okay, so this is a dumb way to do this, I guess. Before he's taking color. Easy. Okay, so we'll take this. This bitmap minus this bitmap clamped between 1 and 0. That's the correct way to do this. Yes. Okay, yeah, so now the yellow should always draw for the blue. At least, right? I mean, it does. Does it? What are we doing here? That's the wrong material. This is just the outline of the ball. I want you to take the outline of blue, subtract that. Yes, so this is just working, right? Doesn't look like it's working. Definitely doesn't at all look like that's working. This is very simple. No, wait, yeah. There is no concept. What? Show me the outline of the ball. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so it is working. It just didn't do what I expected. I thought it would... I thought it would show the entire ball, regardless of what's in front of it. But this is fine. So is this even needed? Probably not. That actually did nothing. I also don't think I like the outline. What if the outline... Whoa. What the shit? Are you two-sided? Oh, don't be. There we go. Let's tone down that blue a bit. I'm glad you like it, Adwa. Thanks, man. Hey, Kurobakla. What's up, man? You're unlit, right? You're getting some weird... Are you unlit? You seem like you might not be unlit. And I'm worried for you, because being lit's stupid. Oh, interesting. Maybe it's just that backdrop. I mean, it could say if update art, if highlighted visible. What the? Oh, right. Okay, so if you're highlighted, hide that. Okay. That seems right. All right, let's keep going. Hey, No Gray, what's up, man? Yeah, the shooting stars are just the easiest imaginable thing. It's a plane with a scrolling texture on it. That's it. Scrolls on a loop. Based on, like, some math and a manipulation of the game tech. This monitor is turning on and off like crazy. crazy. And I don't think it's the wires. You're gone. You're back. Shit. It's not warm. It stops when I look at it. It knows. It senses that it's in danger of getting returned. These people from Dell did call me several times. I might return their phone call. It was very nice of them. They informed me that I have a personal assistant at Dell who will help me make further purchases for my office. They were eager to communicate and advise on the purchases that I would need for my office. I think anytime you use a business card, they assume you're like IBM or some shit. Or it's actually like a really sophisticated AI robocaller and I just didn't pick up on it. It's possible. They're getting sneaky. You think my monitor's playing peekaboo? I'm not gonna lie, that is vexing. Right. Thanks, Adwell. I appreciate that. Let's see. We're pretty much there with the main environment now. The only things left are the stuff on, like, this hasn't seen anything since that I touched it. Also, let's put a pin in this because the textures didn't turn on. Why? It turns on here. I fixed it so that when you play this level, you see the textures. We still need to figure out what this box is. We still gotta, like... figure out a load of stuff there. But... okay, and now it's lit up, which is why I didn't notice it before. Oh, we're gonna look into that. Well, technically it has to... that might be fine. It was darkened because it was incomplete, but it won't unlock until you complete that, so that's fine. Interesting. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So why aren't you showing up, buddy? What's your deal? Push 4, you exist. You're in the same world as everybody else. Let's take a look. You're there, and you're also there. Push 4 versus push 3. But you don't show up in game. Thanks, Bobcat. You do show up in game. That's great. I thought I didn't see it a second ago. Maybe I've lost it. Okay. Well, that looks fine. Oh, this flickering monitor, man. This is wonderful. It's like a disco. That's what it's like. And everybody likes disco. Disco's cool. It's, you know. Yeah, cool. Anyway, what else? So, this one. Let's build the dance floor. What should you look like? This is gonna be a complicated one, huh? I guess not. You could look different just because you do. Like the path you take is so different here. Hashtag game dev. I wish you could experience this. No, I don't, because that would be unpleasant. But then we would be able to share in the unpleasantness of having one monitor just randomly turn off and then on again. It's interesting, because now it's just... it's gotta be a wire, right? Is it a wire from the other side, maybe? I'll be right back. My video card's melting. It's been a couple years since I melted a video card. It's very warm though. Not the video card, the computer. Don't really know what to do about that. Probably. Ignore it until after the stream and then I'm gonna phone a friend. Yeah, I also hope it's not the video card. But now it's like I'm getting a thing where it's flickering only on half the screen. And it's randomly turning off. So, no, if it was a video card crash, it would crash both, right? The fact that it's one monitor means it's hardware, right? Probably. Of course, now it stops. Suspicious. We're gonna make peace with this. If you think about it, it could be a productivity tool, right? Like it's trying to make sure I don't look to the left, because usually I keep Twitter on that screen. And so in a way, this could be really beneficial. It could keep me from checking Twitter. Or maybe it'll like subliminally make me hate Twitter by virtue of the constant blinking in my face. Which, you know, would also be a good thing. It's kind of like shock therapy, but for social media. I could probably use a bit of that. It's a blessing if you think about it. Cable that's in charge of charging my MacBook decides to randomly disconnect, so I feel your pain. Also, the battery isn't the best anymore, so I have a couple of minutes to try and wiggle it. Yeah, I had a thing for a while with one laptop, which is old as hell. God, it's so old, but like, if the power cable comes out, it turns off. But sometimes, if it's never plugged in, I can get away with having it not be plugged in. But the battery life is like 5 minutes. That thing's a piece of shit. I need new stuff. I mean, I have a better laptop now. I needed to get one for like demoing and stuff. I just do kind of use it for everything now. I like to, it's for my wind down at night. I like to check Reddit in bed. It's inelegant, but I like a shitty laptop that helps me just do that before I go to sleep. It's like how old people used to read newspapers or whatever. I should own a tablet. I feel like tablets are for that. I don't own one. And it's kind of like, I work in tech. By now I should have fucking bought a tablet. I gotta get off my ass. Is this? Oh wait, no, I did that wrong. tablet fills the void between the phone and the laptop. Looking at Twitter is basically the same thing as getting electrocuted. I wish. I feel like I wouldn't seek out getting electrocuted. That's the difference. That's what makes Twitter probably worse. I feel like I'd get electrocuted and be like, ow, well that sucked. But then I would just go on with my life. It's the... Do I paint at all? No, not really. Lensa. I've never been good at 2D. Arguably not that good at 3D, but I did, you know, I guess, model much of this game, so arguably okay at 3D. Pretty good at animation. Can't draw for shit, though. Paint tablet? What is a paint tablet? Like, can you tell me what, like a Surface? Probably not a Surface if it was 2009. Something you can draw on? Like a, you don't mean like a Wacom tablet. I have a Wacom tablet from, good lord, probably older than 2009. It was the first Wacom tablets back when I was in college. We had to get them for an art class. It's here. I pulled it up. I never use it. Yep. Yep. Intuos 3A4. I wonder if that's what I have. I have an Intuos 3. It took a long time. I never got into it. I never got the thing, like, where you're drawing down here and you see it on the screen. I know if you get over that pretty quickly if you use your tablet a lot, but I didn't use it enough to get over that. I thought it was weird. Cintiqs, I feel like, are just way more intuitive. Or anything where you see exactly what you're drawing on your pen. Then again, I don't use this stuff really, so I'm not the right person to talk about it. Do not do 2D. Let's see what this looks like in game. Not very good. Okay, let's go. That needs work. for the ninja. It's about my stance on it as well. Well, Ninja, do you do a lot of sculpting, or do you mostly low poly or texture work? Because I can definitely see the line quality. Like in Photoshop, having the ability to manipulate the line thickness based on pressure is like, from what I understand, pretty key. I can totally understand if you're working in 2D, especially really wanting to not use a mouse. And I can see in low poly a mouse just being way faster. But I can see an argument for, like, if you're sculpting, a tablet's probably... I mean, I'm just going by what I've seen other artists do, though, to be fair. I don't model on that level. Just for fun. Low poly is the pixel art of 3D. Ouch. Shit, son. Shots fired. I like most low poly games, though it is becoming a bit of a thing, like too much of a trend, I think. I think we're about to see a lot of those kinds of games. I think I'm pretty happy that... I was worried after Spider-Man more people would push into like a comic book look and this would look a little generic, but nope. Not yet. Oh, excuse me. Inhaled some kind of dust. Hey, games. Kind's going alright. Kind's happening, slowly but surely. Oh, this monitor keeps turning off. It's gonna make it difficult. Low polys and retopology. Oh, like making the low poly, Oh, I see. Oh, Tanishian. I showed this at the beginning. This is something I did earlier in the week, and it's not done yet either. In my way of doing everything halfway, because I'm freaking out for the lack of time, and it's honestly not the most important part of the game, but if you get far enough through the love story of Euler and Rue, eventually you unlock the relationship level. And then there's only actually one section in this level, and at the end of it they break up. But yeah, it's kind of a work in progress, but once you get to a certain point, once you've done a certain number of levels that are just Euler and Rue together, the heart comes up here and starts floating, and this unlocks. And then you play it, and it's not supposed to unravel like that, but I'm cheating. And as you play through, it's kind of like a little bit... It unravels more and more. This was a fun one to figure out. I had fun this week. I need to stop having fun. But we had to figure out what this is going to look like. And I'm going to, now that I had to do enough to know what I wanted now and how I was going to do it in Engine. And now that I figured it, and I know like I want this to break apart more, I have very specific instructions for them for what I need my artists to do, because I can't do everything in the game. That's kind of the point of hiring these contract artists, so I'm going to have them take over some of this from here on. Mostly what I want them to do from this point is I'm going to give them this model and tell them that they can change the UVs, but they can't move a single vert. What do you think it should look like? And I'm going to explain what the scene is, and we'll see what they can do with it. But there's a lot of constraints, and like there's a certain amount of back and forth. There's a certain amount of like, I wish I could just take the time to make the entire game. I'm really, really jazzed to be working with these guys, but there's certain things that are like, I don't have time to finish up the game and also art direct, and I wish I could, because, what are we doing here? Just because there's very specific gameplay things that need to be shown. Like, it's being shown here, so you can see, like, when you're Rue, you can see which, what's at your Z height, for instance. When you change characters, you can see which Z height you can be at. But I didn't necessarily want the scribble, so I was going to see if they could come up with something else. But a lot of the things they come up with don't darken the levels enough or don't communicate, like... a lot of the art has to exist to communicate what is going on. And that's difficult to outsource. Because I understand... Like, artists don't always play your game, especially contract artists. They very much probably definitely don't. So explaining what each thing needs to communicate and like doing paintovers and stuff is actually a pretty laborious process. Oh yeah, Ninjin, that was the heart is a series of blend shapes. I can just show you that. I tried a couple of different things. I thought about doing it with world space offsets, but in the end I wanted something that was flexible. I debated putting something in the shader, like having the I knew I wanted it to break apart. I debated doing it in the shader. In the end, what I did was just morph targets. So like I did this at the beginning of the week, so it's actually not saved here. So there's the two rigs I have, because the heart does other things, right? Like the heart's also part of a level, which I need to fix. The actual rig for this does quite a few things. So what I did was I created another skeletal mesh that has the same bones in the rig, and I hot swap. I broke the heart down into being different pieces. Like there's the... how do I explain this? Oops, I think I just opened the wrong thing. Well, this is the piece that... And that's the thing I tried that I hated. But basically this was me. I started out with a heart. I had the heart, Geo, and I constructed the level to always fit so that each of the levels, when they stacked on top of each other, made the heart. That was like something I did back when I was designing it. And I just wanted to take advantage of that, right? So like, in the beginning I thought it would just be a cute thing to have from top down, but then I was like, well, if you're actually going to play on it, maybe the heart should fall apart. And so I made a series of blend shapes of it kind of unraveling. This is actually not the one I went with. This is the alt. Okay, so this is one of the earlier ones I tried, where I was like, maybe as you play it unfolds and unravels, but that didn't sell it as well. So I went for... yeah, this one. This is the one where it just unravels, and I'll keep pulling this apart. Good storyboard things. Yeah, I need to... The story is... So I'll tell you, like, I've got feedback from people. And it's, depending... The different people gave very different feedback. Like, one of the people I reached out to is a puzzle designer who's very, very good, and his feedback was extremely specific about, like... like, comically specific about puzzles. And controls. Like, there's certain things that upset Alan a lot that are like, when you click to turn the camera, I lock out controls for various reasons, like, because it would suck if you tried to move while the camera was turning, and because what is up? Oh, fuck, how do I even explain that? So WASD makes you move in this direction if your camera's facing this way, but if I rotate the camera 90 degrees, then W makes you go that way, right? And so I assumed that would be irritating, so I removed the ability to make any kind of moves while the camera's turning. There's a lot of little control things like that, is what the puzzle designer called out. The other two people mostly called out that the story is terrible. Alan was like, I brought that up to the puzzle designer, and he's just like, games ship with terrible story all the time. What I recommend is that you just don't have the cutscenes when you restart, because I don't want to have to play through them again. That was like one of his notes. It's like, seriously, don't make me look at the cutscenes twice. It's like, god damn it. So yeah, in reality, I think one of the worst things, like stepping back, I think the bigger problems are actually something I'm trying to solve right now, which is the lack of visual player progression. Like the idea that as you play through the game, you feel like you're getting further through something, a story, making progress or something. Like, I think that's actually a bigger issue. And in general, the fact that apparently the dialogue is just crap is something I'm pretty stressed about. And in general, the non-linear aspects of the story, I think, are throwing some people off. So yeah, that's big. What's the other one? Oh, 3 big things. The third big thing is just that the game's buggy. But that's known. I'm going to tackle a lot of that stuff after content lock. I'm a strong believer in the frenzy panicked fixes that happen after content lock. Because the thing is, if you want to have the frenzy panicked get in all the content, and you want to do that before you fix all the bugs, otherwise you're wasting your time. Cutscenes playing all the time. Yeah, but it's like it's not like it's a cutscene. It's like a single... Okay, in my defense, it's not like I'm making people look at a long-ass cutscene here, right? It's more like when you start a level, they say some shit, and then you click and you go. And the argument is, Alan's like, when you restart a level, I don't want to see that, I just want to start playing. And I'm like, that's a bit nitty-gritty. But he's not the only one that said that, so maybe I should just fucking remove that when you restart a level. Fair. Fair. The same thing happened on the Flame of the Flood. We made people look through there's at the very beginning of the game, the dog like grabs her bag and drags it to the campfire, and that's how the game starts. It's like a 30-second cutscene maybe, but the biggest feedback we got repeatedly is when I restart the game, I don't want to have to see that fucking cutscene. Yeah, I know. I'm sure you guys are right. I know. I don't know why, like, I resist it. It's stupid. I'm going to not resist it. I'm going to change that. We could change that right now if you want. Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's do it. Do I need to do anything else here? I think that's the last of the... Before we change that, let's just take a look at this. Okay, let me just fix this, and then we'll fix that other thing. You're right. We'll do that today. Make that a P0. Make that a P not even on the list, because it's fucking done. Which is the best kind of P. I don't know, does that look good? I think... But yeah, this is the big me trying to fix player progression. Was I on yesterday? Yeah, it's only Saturday. Shit, this is 2 days of work. So I used to have this thing where back before I had the good art, where they were just colors and you would see the entire section light up when you highlighted a section. on top of seeing the levels light up when you go through the levels, and I just resurrected that. I just basically brought that back, but with like textures over it. And I used to have the idea that once you complete a level, it brightens. And I brought that back too. It just took a while to figure out like how to manipulate the textures to make that look kind of cool. On top of that, I wanted to show, I brought back the ribbon, the idea that you see the progress that you're taking. I thought all those ideas were good. We moved away from them because I just didn't have time to do the art and do that at the same time, and I think the game suffered a lot for not having it. So it's all back in now, in a prettier way. And I think it's actually, it's the best. This is what it looks like when you've completed. Maybe when you've completed they should be yellow. What do you think? Like when they're incomplete, they're blue. Right, because you see the circles you're going to go to. And then when you come back here and they're completed, you get little splats, but maybe they should be yellow splats. What do you think? Should they? On the fence now. I was very confident when I first said that. Why do I feel that way? Well, because they're yellow here, right? That's why. Ooh, maybe they should just be yellow in the middle. I think I tried something like that and it looked like ass, but I tried it with black. Didn't try with yellow. Okay, one more experiment. Then we go back to the other thing I was talking about. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, let's... Maybe the splats would be better if they're yellow. Okay, cool. We're in agreement. Chat is in agreement. Let's do this. If I open that, because I don't actually have it anymore. I tried something similar. Do I still have it? No, did I delete it? Is it still on my undo list? Shit. No. It's not on my undo list. Okay. So let's say that there's a... It's my 2D skills here, guys. About to learn way too much. Most of the art in kind is made by doing shit like this. Or honestly manipulating the crap out of, like, I had the art director at one point. I was like, look man, I just need you to give me a couple lines, and he just drew a bunch of lines, and I've just been copy pasting them all over the place for random shit. All right, here we go. How do I want to do this? Yeah, because of course that won't work, because why would it? Oh wait, maybe this will just... Yeah, okay. All right. Do we like that? Several things. First off, because no, we don't. What do I want to do here? Maybe if it's just smaller and darker. I just feel like that's not reading. You know, maybe it could be filled in, but it doesn't have to be like... What if it's... This guy's a paint splat. Let's see how it was before. Whoops. Yeah, this might be fun. It just might be too big. Like, what if we take you? Too small. Yeah, I'm learning to like it. Fair enough, podcast. What's next? So many things. If I'm gonna do this here, I think this is good. Solutions for these. Should do that same thing here. Like, should you have a bouncing line for this? I feel like you can see the progression pretty easily. I don't think we need it. How about here? Guess it is working. I'm seeing some kind of shadow. That's the problem. Later. Alright, I think that's at a place where I gotta play the game and look for bugs. So. Now what? Oh man, I think think I might have to go fix this monitor in reality, because this is probably bad and it seems like it's getting worse. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut this one short. And I'm gonna reboot my computer and see if that just fixes it. If that doesn't fix it, which it probably won't, I'm going to text people and ask them what to do. And then I will do what they say. Yeah, I do know a lot of smart people. And I do have my old monitors, which aren't gorgeous, crispy 4K monitors, but will get the job done. Good night, Adwa. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'm sorry this was so short. No, it's cool. I'm sorry I didn't stream longer. I feel like I usually at least hit 3 hours, but I got shit to do. Maybe I'll do a midweek stream or something. Or I'll stream later or tomorrow. Or I won't. We'll find out. Alright. Later, guys.